Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility,
leadership,
purpose,
great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
diversity,
inclusion,
compasión.
We love our jobs. If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our Compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302-409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you know he'll help you understand? Did you know always a right-hand man? Did you know he's gonna make it clear? Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know?
Hello and welcome to the Did You Know Show. My name is Brian Green, and today, those of you who follow me on the radio and on TV know my biggest passion, bar none, are animals. Today I bring you to one of my favorite charities, bar none, not-for-profits, South Jersey Horse Rescue. And it's one of these places that has really, for me, has been a balance to my work-life balance. They have been a tremendous help for me for my horse rescue farm. And today I'm going to bring and introduce to you Ellen Strack, visionary, founder, head person in charge, and she has a wonderful team of folks that she's going to introduce. Ellen, go ahead. Introduce everybody here with us.
This is Betty Morgan. She's my volunteer coordinator and our disabled and special needs riding instructor. And this is Em, board member and helper outer and volunteer. And over here we have Lois, the mighty Lois Lane, who is grounds crew. And then we have Amber and the wonderful Mai, who is here to provide protection to all of us.
Hi, Mai. So we're here on South Jersey Horse Rescue. We're down in Weekstown, or is it Egg Harbor City?
Egg Harbor City.
Look at the two horses.
Here they come. They want to be introduced.
Okay, so let's introduce them.
Okay, this is the beautiful Annie right here, and right next to her is Mr. Ludacris.
Annie.
His name is Ludacris, and these are rescue animals. They have been surrendered here because they could not be cared for by their owners, and we're taking good care of them.
They're still being rehabilitated.
They're still being rehabilitated. It's cool. Horses are a tremendous part of our society. I have recently, I guess about 4 years ago, I bought a farm a little further north of here in New Jersey, and Ellen Strack and her team have been a wonderful support system, and not only just getting me animals that needed, or introducing me or connecting me to animals that needed to be rescued for whatever reason, but also along the way teaching me a lot, showing me a lot, and connecting me to volunteers. So what is South Jersey Horse Rescue all about?
Well, we are a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization. We've been around for a little over 10 years now. I think in December it's going to be the 11th year. And what we do is we help people out who cannot take care of their horses, or if they have a house fire, or they lose their job, or they become ill, or they have to go into a nursing home. What do you do with your horses? Well, right now, the SPCA is defunded in New Jersey. What are you going to do? They wouldn't have helped you anyway. They would have called me.
Right.
But what we do is we take your horse, or if we can't take your horse, we find it a really good home where it won't go to auction, where sadly, auctions sometimes lead to the slaughter of horses for meat. So what we do is we try to keep them out of the auction pipeline, and sometimes we even take horses from auction to keep them from being made into meat.
And the thing that I've learned, and we're going to come back to that horse auction situation, but sometimes when there's a catastrophic event around the country, whether there's a hurricane or some type of tornado, or somebody's farm gets turned out, horses find themselves being rehomed around the country. And sometimes you have different people that are what they call horse dealers, unfortunately, that go out and do, they sell horses, as you said, for meat. And some places people do eat horses, believe it or not. But in general, it's different when you have a dog or a cat, right? When you have a dog or a cat, I think they're a little bit easier to surrender to organizations like animal shelters or the SPCA.
And you can find a no-kill shelter, but with a horse, there is no such thing other than us.
Right, and then not just when people get old or can't have horses. A lot of times, what people don't know too is that when horses get hurt on the racetrack, You know, they can't run anymore. If they can't work on a farm anymore, they kind of get kicked to the curb.
Yes.
And, you know, it's different, you know, with a horse versus, again, a smaller animal. A horse needs room, needs love, and constant attention. And a lot of things can go wrong with horses if you're not up on them. Today, I'm excited because I'm like a kid in the candy store. I got to really focus, you know, because I am an animal lover. But I am a fan of the South Jersey Horse Rescue for what you guys do. And we're going to be, in this episode, we're going to be visiting the animals. We're going to be walking around the farm. You're going to take us through some of the animals, some of their trials and tribulations, where they came from. And then throughout the show, if you're interested and you want to help the South Jersey Horse Rescue, you can look at the bottom of the screen and you can see how you can donate, how you can find them on social media. I believe you guys are South Jersey Horse Rescue.
On Facebook.
On
yes.
Facebook. You can connect. There are so many different rescues around the country that are connected. You guys have introduced me to a whole lot of them. And we're just going to take a walk around and just really just get to know the horses. So stay tuned. We're going to start in this pasture or paddock. And stay tuned. The show today is being brought to you by Always Best Care Senior Services. We provide in-home care for seniors. Or if you're somebody that has had a hip, a knee replacement, a back injury, if you're recovering from a stroke or battling cancer, please think about Always Best Care. We take care of people. Ellen takes care of animals, horses. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're going to introduce you to the animals on this farm.
Did you know?
Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility.
Leadership. Purpose.
Great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity.
Inclusion.
Compasión.
We love our jobs. If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our Compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302-409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you know?
Welcome back to the Did You Know Show. You're taking a look at Ludacris. Ludacris is new to the South Jersey Horse Rescue. And Ellen, on break, you were telling us, what is your kind of routine when you bring a new animal to the rescue? What do you do?
Well, the first thing we do, just to be careful, is we call a vet. And the vet comes out. We have several different vets we use because you can't always get the same one on the same day. And we have the animals condition evaluated, see what they need. Do they have an issue? Do they have a problem? Do they have a disease? We've had horses come in with lice and with mange and starving to death. We've had a lot of different horses come in with different issues, and we always want to get that documented on the first day they come in so that we can take good care of them.
Because if you have a skinny horse on here,
Yeah.
he went for the treats.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you have a skinny horse on here, you want to document that you're not mistreating them. And
Exactly.
You want to, especially a lot of horses, I would imagine, don't have a lot of history.
They don't have a lot of history, especially when we get them from auction. We can't tell. We've actually had horses come in that were so abused that they would come after you and try to kill you. And they take special care, which we learned how to do. And we've taken several horses that have been dangerous, and they're now very, very gentle and friendly horses that little kids can ride.
I'm going to pet you.
We get horses and people lie about them.
And the people lie about them.
Why would people tell a story about a horse?
They just want you to take it off their hands so they don't have to worry
up,
about
buddy?
it anymore, and they give us stories about the age and the condition, and they're absolutely not correct.
And they want to really get the horse. They want to move the horse and
Yes.
sell the horse, so they would probably not give you the full history.
Right.
A fear of you not really wanting to have to deal with the rehabilitative.
Exactly. When it would be better if people just told me the truth and said this horse has back issues or doesn't like a rider or is lame in the front or whatever. It's better if you just tell the truth, because then we can help the horse. If we know this whole story, we can help the horse.
Now again, the tax deductions and volunteers, it takes a lot to run a place like this. You know, at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see South Jersey Horse Rescue. You have an email, you have Facebook. And you guys are a 501c3, and it's my understanding you're the bronze status?
We're a bronze status of GuideStar. We're also a member of America's Best Charities.
Okay.
So, and that's very hard to be. You have to, turn in every cent that you make, and everything is looked at, because there are some rescues in the United States that are not legitimate. They're basically horse flippers, and they bring horses in, raise a lot of money, and then just get rid of the horse. And it does happen. It's really sad. But there are also very good rescues, and some of them are in this area.
So you need, ongoing, you have obviously volunteers and that kind of thing. If you're interested out there, viewing audience and participating or donating, you can look at the bottom of the screen. It's a tax deductible. It's a tax deductible donation that you can make. But also, if you're interested in being on the board,
Or volunteering.
Volunteering, what is that like? What is the day in the life of a volunteer? What do volunteers do?
Betty?
Volunteer coordination, Betty.
The volunteers take care of the horses every day. They feed them. They make sure they're clean. They put fly spray on because the flies can get terrible. Make sure they have fresh water. Make sure they're fed. Check them every day for health issues. If you see a nick or a cut, we always make sure that that's treated. And just to make sure everybody's safe. Some people that come here, if you don't have any horse experience, we train you.
I didn't have any horse experience, and they learning me now as we go. It's a continual process.
We also need volunteers that can do landscaping and ground moving, because if you don't want, maybe you're a little scared and you don't want to be in with the horses, there are many things you can do. You can help us with paperwork. You can help us in the Tacky Tack Shop, which is our tack shop for like low-income kids who ride. They're allowed to come and pick out things they need to ride their horses, 4-H kids and whatever. So we need a lot of different help, and you don't necessarily have to work with horses, but there's so many things that can be done here.
So what is Ludacris? Ludacris came from a situation, you got him, he got some weird pads on. The vet is on his way here to see him.
We got 100 different stories when we got him, and I don't know what is what, and we're gonna figure it out and do the best we can for him. He is magnificent.
Well, it's interesting. I've learned through my limited horse experience that you have to kind of group them to their kind of aggression and temperament.
Yes, they do have a hierarchy, and somebody is dominant and somebody is not dominant, and they figure it out.
And so let's walk around. So that so this is Ludacris. What's the other horse's name?
This is Annie.
Annie, and what's Annie's story?
Annie's story is she came from some people who, got older and their kids lost interest and the grandkids lost interest, and they had 5 horses, and she was the last one left. And they were having a problem placing her, so we took her, and we're going to figure out what she likes to do. She is a thoroughbred off the track. I don't know yet what her racing name was. We're going to figure that out. And I think she's about 10 or 12 years old. They told me she was 22, but her teeth are telling me 10. But we're going to have the vet, so we know for sure.
What's going on?
She is obviously sound and very, very beautiful.
Now, don't assume that we all know what sound means.
It means that she's good on her legs. It means she's not lame and doesn't have sore feet or anything like that. And she is a mare, she is a thoroughbred, and she's also very, very nice to people.
And that could be depending on where they come from in their history. That could change.
Right.
Who are these 2 beautiful horses over here?
The first one with the white face, that's Lorelei, and she came in from the SPCA. She had been pulled off somebody's property because they weren't taking care of her. She was very, very thin, and now she's squirting because she likes him. That means she's in heat. She has a breathing issues, so she has COPD, and she gets treated for that, and she's doing well, and she's gained all her weight back.
So wait a minute, the horse has COPD?
Yes, she does.
Oh my God.
A lot of times that's because they're kept in a dirty stall for a really long time, and they're breathing in the ammonia and the mold spores, and that's why it's better to have open, like we do, you and I do. You have open air, so they have open air all the time.
And you schooled me that sometimes it's not a good idea to put heat in the barn.
No, never put heat in the barn. Horses don't need heat, and for the most part, they don't need blankets. If they're very thin, elderly, or sick, yes, they might need a blanket. But if they don't, just let them get their big furry coat, and they're much happier.
So what's the other horse? The other horses just ran into the...
Here comes Duke.
Duke.
Duke is the superstar here. He's 40 years old. His name is Duke Skywalker, and the one with the swayback, that's Smokey.
Swayback. Okay, stop. So wait a minute.
Okay.
First, a couple of questions come to mind.
Okay.
What is the average life of a horse?
It's changed a lot over the years. When I was a kid, 20 was old.
Okay.
Now 30 is old.
Okay.
So for him to be 40, that's really amazing.
40,
and
okay.
He is 40, he has one eye and very few teeth, and he's still rocking and rolling, and he's our absolute beloved mascot, and we love him to death. And he has been here since the beginning.
So what you said, Swayback, the other horse had a sway. And it's funny how I shot. They knew that we were talking about him because they ran right into the running shed.
Can you bring Smokey out, or maybe M could? Anyway, so you can see a bad Swayback.
And then, how big is this? Okay, so what's the swayback? Let's go to that first. What does swayback mean?
Swayback means their back looks like a U. It's dropped. He could never be ridden again. And when he came, he was all ribby and very, 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 very thin. The vet said he had less than a month to live. We put a lot of weight on him. Obviously has a chewing problem. Maybe the owner didn't know that, so he gets mush.
Okay. And our production is having a love affair over there with Annie.
Because she's beautiful.
Because she's beautiful and she's friendly.
Yes.
You've helped me get a lot of my horses over the years, and you've been a really supportive. During the last part of our show, I want to take people into your tack shop.
Yes.
Because you have a tack shop. And another thing we're going to talk about later on in the show, what a lot of people don't know and they come to know, is this beautiful spirit right here is one of the best artists you ever could really know. She did a picture of me, and we'll show it. Oh my goodness, you have a really good eye.
Thank you.
And so how big is South Jersey Horse Rescue in terms of acreage?
We have 31 acres here, but a lot of it is protected pine lands, which we love. It means nothing else can go up here. We could, when we get the finances, we can make another paddock. We have 6 acres over there we could. There's the horse with the swayback right there. He's quite happy. We have to keep his weight somewhat down to keep his...
Is he on a special diet?
Not really. Not really. We just don't give him a lot of sweets.
Okay. Is he diabetic or?
No, he is not diabetic, but he is actually the grand old age of 37. So he is really up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was his story? How did he come here?
The SPCA pulled him off a property with another horse because they weren't being taken care of. Apparently the owners had died.
Okay.
And the kids didn't know how to feed a horse and they were afraid of them. So they were just like throwing some hay over the fence. But both horses came and were very, very thin.
Okay.
And you can see he still has some ribs, but we really don't want him any heavier than that. His back end is nice and full because it's too much weight on the swayback.
What can you tell people out there that may have a horse, that may be in that situation? Because a lot of people may not know what to do. If your family or your father, your mother were horse people, and then you untimely have to deal now with the inheritance of a horse, what do you do with unwanted horses that is the responsible thing to do?
Well, I would say 2 don'ts. Don't put the horse on Craigslist, free to a good home, and don't send the horse to auction. Call your local vet. Call your 4-H groups. They may want a horse donated for 4-H kids that can't afford a horse to buy one but need a nice horse. Don't just put them on Craigslist. You'll have somebody with a trailer that's going to come pick them up and they're going to sell them for meat. Yep. And meat is $1.10 a pound right now, and you've got to...
Wait a minute, horse meat is $1.10 a pound?
To sell it, yes.
To sell it, wow.
Not to buy it. To buy it, it's like $14 a pound, but to sell it, you get $1.10 a pound. So right there, you've got an 850-pound horse, and that's some money right there.
Wow.
You know, so people, and they don't care if the horse is old or young. Or pregnant.
We've had horses come through pregnant.
We've had pregnant horses here. They're all waiting for their lunch.
It's time to eat.
It's time to eat.
Someone just brought out a treat.
Yeah.
They are horses, has been my experience, are extremely smart, and they follow routine.
Yes.
They know a routine.
Yes.
A couple of times my horses have broken to the barn.
Yeah.
And I got cans listed around. I got cans 'cause I have sheep, alpaca, and goat also. So I have different feeds. I have the senior feed, I have the regular feed,
Yeah.
I have the all feed for the small animals.
What
for
do
the small
they go
animals.
for? The senior?
They go for the LS regular.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And they know exactly which can to go into, and they're like kids too, because when you
Yeah.
come back in there, they like not making eye contact.
I did nothing. No,
I didn't do that. It wasn't me. It wasn't
I
me.
didn't
It
do
wasn't
nothing.
me. It wasn't me. They left this nice little pile of unforgivings there. I am here on the South Jersey Horse Rescue. If you are interested in gaining more knowledge, if you're interested in connecting with a very good rescue, 501c3, artist, tack shop, definitely reach out to the South Jersey Horse Rescue. I'm here with Betty and Ellen. They are 2 really magnificent people, and those again that follow my radio show and my TV show, I have a huge passion for animals. And animal people, I think, are some of the best people in the world because we show so much love to another being. And so we're here at the South Jersey Horse Rescue down in Weekstown, New Jersey. Some people will call it Egg Harbor City, I guess. Egg Harbor City is right down the street.
Yep.
And we're in the one pasture. I want to move around and get back to that pasture back there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to continue our conversation.
Say hi.
We're going to meet some more animals, and we're going to get some more horse knowledge. Are you ready? Stay tuned.
Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility.
Leadership. Purpose.
Great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity.
Inclusion.
Compasión.
We love our jobs. If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our Compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302 409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you know?
Welcome back to the Did You Know Show. My name is Brian Green. I'm here at the South Jersey Horse Rescue. Ellen, introduce us to this beautiful, beautiful horse.
This is Mr. Finian, and I got a phone call from some very concerned neighbors in Forked River, and they said they hadn't seen him in a while, and he was owned by an elderly lady, and they were a little worried. And what happened was he was kept in a building that had partially collapsed, and she had gotten I guess Alzheimer's and was not taking care of the horse, and he was stuck in that building for more than 8 months.
Oh, wow.
And he had been by himself at her property for over 11 years. We found out later that he was a highly trained paint quarter horse, trained to ride Western, but he hadn't done anything in so many years because he was locked in this building. And our volunteer M was able to go with helpers, get a Sawzall, and saw him out of the building. I don't know how he lived through the heat wave. I have no idea, because all he had was moldy hay and thick black water. And he hopped out of that hole in the building and hopped on the trailer and came here.
Wouldn't get off the
He would not get off the trailer.
He had to check you guys out first.
Yeah, but he said he was afraid if we took him off the trailer, he'd be back in that hole again. So what happened when he came here, he got sunburned because he hadn't been out, and we weren't even thinking of that because all our horses are out all the time. We figured it out. He's doing great. He's put weight on. He's just an absolutely wonderful horse, and he's a lot of fun to ride, very energetic.
You can tell who gives him the treats, because he ran right over the like you must be the treat person.
I'm the one who got him on the trailer.
Okay.
So the neighbors have called and said thank you so much for taking him. They've even come over and visited him, and they were happy at his condition. He did need a lot of vet care. He had some infections on his legs, and he had never had his shots in 10 years. He got all his shots caught up to date. He got his teeth done. People don't realize horses' teeth keep growing, so you have to get your horse's teeth filed down, and he got his teeth filed down. There, he likes her. Yeah.
He likes our production.
I want to be on camera.
Joanne is here today doing production, and so.
And if you look at the side of his face, you can see the side view of an Indian.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got Native American right there. See his face with the chin? Yeah.
Yes.
Watch your
Yep.
toes.
Yeah, well, just watch your toes. He won't step on your feet on purpose. He's a very, very nice horse.
On break, you were telling us about, and as we go through and meet the horses and many horses, I'm so excited. You were telling us that we can sponsor horses. People can sponsor horses.
Yes, the horses here all need, not all of them, some of them need a sponsor. Finian could use a sponsor, and the sponsor just basically pays for their food. And right now, South Jersey Horse Rescue has a budget of about $75 a day to feed everyone here. But to feed a horse like that for a month is about $120 to $150. So if anybody wants to sponsor him, it's tax deductible, and just say, I want to sponsor Finian, and you can do it through the website, and then that pays for his food for a whole month.
And the website is at the bottom of our screen. We're at the South Jersey Horse Rescue, so a lot of these horses can benefit from having a sponsor. So if you want a horse to say you're sponsoring a horse, and you can just be far, you don't have to be in Jersey. You could be in Washington, you could be in Utah, you could be in Nevada, you could be in California or Florida. If you want to sponsor a horse, certainly, all you got to do is just, they can follow the instructions on the website, right? It's really easy.
Right on the website.
And you will get a tax-deductible letter, because I sponsor the rescue in general, and so I always get my letter on time, just in time for taxes.
Yes.
So we're here in the back paddock, and so this is Finian.
This is Finian.
And so he's been here how long?
He's been here a couple of months, and he's put a lot of weight on then, and he's got his feet done. His feet were terrible. They were really long. And he is about 19 years old, and he's a Spitfire under saddle. He just he wants to go wrestle some cows or pole bend or barrel race. He's got a lot of energy. Now we are doing an exercise program with him because he has muscle wastage from standing in the stall so long. So we do exercises with him. Anybody that wants to come out and learn how to exercise him?
What about
he is also up for adoption.
Really?
Yes, he is up for adoption, and he is a healthy horse.
And so he's up for adoption. He's gelded. That means he's fixed.
He's gelded. He's a gelded male, and he loves people, and he also loves children. He also was very trained before he went to this woman's house. Someone really trained him because he has a lot of manners. In other words, he won't run you over. He won't step on your foot. He doesn't kick or bite. As you can see, he's loving on Joanna over there.
He likes that hat.
He likes that. He wants the hat.
He wants the hat.
Give me
He-
that
Must be a
hat.
Western horse.
It must be a Western horse. He likes the hat, right? So these two mini horses over here in my prairie view and the big horse, they have a story.
Yes, this is the gray horse. Is an appendix as far as we can tell. I got a phone call from a boarding stable in North Jersey, and they said a lady had left 2 horses and stopped paying rent and moved away. And Eridan was one of the horses. That's the gray horse. And there was another horse named Violet, and she's been adopted since. Well, when Eridan came here, he had a disease called leptospirosis, and it hadn't been treated. And because of that, he is blind. He is now legally blind. And it's quite sad because he's only about 16 years old. He actually can still be ridden. He likes to be ridden, and he's very calm under saddle. You just have to make sure he knows that there's a fence there because he'll walk right into it. We keep him in with the 2 mini horses. They're kind of babysitters, and they lead him to the water, and they show him where the grain is, and they keep him company. Without those mini horses, he gets really upset.
Oh wow! So what are the mini horses' names?
Yeah, the little white one is Yuki Hime, which means snow princess in Japanese, and the little brown one is
He looks
Windy.
Yuki looks. He knows her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got food?
Yeah, she knows her name, and they're very, very smart. Mini horses are a lot different than full-size horses. They're, I don't know, smarter, but I guess maybe they are smarter, but they'll actually walk in your house, they'll take a drive in your car. I mean, they're very interested. Look, I'm standing next to Brian.
Shout out to Sydney Lee, who
Yeah.
turned me on to South Jersey Horse Rescue. She works at Criminal Animal Vet, and she has a mini horse.
She adopted a mini horse from us that I thought no one would ever take because Pixie was the evil devil. She was evil. She would bite you, kick you, and Sydney loves her, and she loves Sydney, and Sydney dresses her up and takes her in parades, and they're really good couple. You see Windy laying down. She's just getting a nap in the sun. Eridan could really use a sponsor. His sponsorship is also $150 a month, and that pays for his feed. If someone wanted to sponsor his hoof care, that is $40 a month.
He has little boots on, looks like. What are those little boots?
Those little boots help to keep the flies off of him. They're fly
Okay.
wraps.
Fly wraps, and the flies sometimes can be really.
Yes.
That's why I guess
Yes.
I look forward to the fall and the winter a little bit because the flies kind of die down a little
Right.
bit.
It's been a bad fly year. We have a lot of traps up, and we use a lot of spray. Just because the weather has been a certain way, we have a lot of flies. But I don't know. I guess
buddy.
it's not so bad today.
And so she's laying there, so it's all right. So you don't have to really freak out. So
No.
horses do go to sleep then.
She's sleeping. Yeah.
They can sleep standing up.
Yes.
They'll lock their legs and they'll just doze. You'll see their head relax and their eyes be soft, and they'll just relax. But they can lay down. Usually they won't lay down any more than 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a
They'll
little
move around.
bit hard for them to breathe when they're in the down position, so they usually don't stay down longer than like 45 minutes.
And she has a little belly there. Is that a hay belly?
That's a hay belly. Yes.
She's just like laying out, like really like taking it easy. So then you have,
It's a nice sunny day.
it's a nice sunny day, yeah.
Sometimes you get nice sunny days, you see multiple horses laying down, but usually one is standing up somewhere watching.
I'd like
Herd
to.
mentality.
The
And
herd mentality, okay.
I'd like to mention also that Annie and Ludacris will be available for adoption once we have figured out everything about them and have ridden them and make sure that what they know and what they don't know. So they will be available. Annie is a pure thoroughbred, and we believe that Ludacris is a draft cross with thoroughbred.
What does that mean, draft cross?
That means one of his parents was probably a draft horse, like a Percheron, because he has a Percheron face, and then the other parent was a thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred, okay.
Yeah. That's why he's so big. He is really, really big, probably 18 hands.
So when they say hands, for the layman people out there that don't know what hands mean, what is that? Hands
Well, a
is-
hand is 4 inches, so this is your hand.
Well, he's
Yeah.
over there.
Okay,
If
that's
we can
fine.
get that to focus on
Yeah.
us a little bit, when she talks about hands.
This is a hand,
A
and
hand-
that's how they've always measured horses. It's about 4 inches. So if you say a horse is 16 hands, it's 16 times 4 inches at the shoulder. And that's how you measure a horse.
Okay. And so, wow. So did you grow up with horses?
I did not.
Wow.
I did not. I begged for a pony and begged for a pony, and my parents were like, "You're crazy." And when I was 12 years old, I started to ride at Sunset Stables in Cardiff, which is long gone. It was $2.50, and you got on a horse, and they'd smack it on the rump, and you're off in the woods, learned how to ride. And then when I was 14, my dad gave me a horse for my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was Jersey Joe. He was a quarter horse, and he was awesome.
Are you from New Jersey?
I am.
Okay.
I am, yes.
So you grew up in New Jersey, and so
Yep.
you got a horse. And so 10 years ago, what made you? We talked about that the South Jersey Horse Rescue has been around for 10 years.
Yes.
And so what was your inspiration to start this rescue?
Well, it's kind of a long story. When I was 40, I had stage 3 cancer. And I was talking to my doctor, and my doctor said, Ellen, you need to have a really good year, because it didn't look good.
Okay.
And I said to my husband, listen, I want to lease a horse, because I had a horse when I was a kid, and he passed away when I was in college, and I was heartbroken, so I didn't want a horse then. I said, I just want to spend some time with a horse. And he said no, so I went out and leased a horse. And her name was Bailey, and I couldn't ride because I was very sick at the time, but we went out, and my oncologist said, Ellen, you spend a lot of time in the sun with the horse. And I said, yeah. And she said that vitamin D took that breast cancer and killed it. And I lived. My cancer went away. I had 2 surgeries and chemo, but it went away, and I lived. It was stage 3, and it was really bad. And I said, that's it. I'm back into horses. So Bailey is still alive. I actually gave her to a friend of mine because she was a little too wild for me, and she's still alive and doing well. And I bought my big horse Tavi, who you'll meet, and we started showing in dressage.
What does that mean?
Dressage is fancy horse dancing. They do it in the Olympics. I absolutely loved it, and I loved jumping. So I bought this property so that I could have my horses not at a boarding stable.
Okay.
Then I found out about horse slaughter. That was it. That was the end of my dressage career, showing, because you have to practice 5 times a week. I said, no way are my horses ever going to be meat. I have 3 big horses. You'll meet them. So I decided, I have 31 acres. I'm going to start a horse rescue.
Wow.
Ended up getting divorced over it, but that's okay.
You took the horses and
Yes.
kicked them to the curb.
Yuki's story is very interesting too. Her owner had mini horses for his
She's feeding them
grandchildren.
grapes. She's feeding them grapes?
Yes, they love
Oh,
grapes.
oh, wow. I didn't know
Bananas,
that.
grapes, avocado.
I just thought they like carrots and apples.
No, pumpkins,
Like that?
plums, Brian,
Watermelon.
peaches,
Oh, wow.
watermelon. Oh my, they love watermelon. You can just put a watermelon out there and they even eat the rind.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. I did not know that.
Yuki's owner's wife called me and she said, my husband has Alzheimer's and he's letting the minis out at night because he thinks they're dogs.
Ellen, did you get the one sunbathing?
And she said, they keep running around Galloway at night. So I said, Betty, let's go see these horses. And there were 3. And we took all 3 and we found homes for 2 of them. And we had to keep Yuki because she's our mascot and we love her.
Yuki!
And she's a little bundle. I'm telling you, she will walk right into my living room, get up on the couch. Yeah.
And watch TV with you.
Watch TV. She's really more of a human than a horse.
Our cameraman, Mr. Daps, is feeding
There you
them.
go.
He's
You
into
see, they
it.
take treats very gently. They never use their teeth. They use their lips, and they're very gentle. We have to watch her weight. She tends to get a little heavy, so we
Okay.
watch her weight.
That's a good question. How often do you feed the horses?
We feed most of the horses twice a day. They have
Okay.
hay all the time, 24/7.
Okay.
But we feed them in the morning, like 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. But our elder horses, who you'll meet, they have to be fed 3 or 4 times a day because they don't really have teeth.
Okay.
So they get a mush because they can't really get enough hay down.
Do you give them any type of supplement like Cosequin?
Yeah, a lot of the horses, the older horses get Cosequin and they get rice bran pellets if their weight is down. This guy gets something called Vitacalm, and it keeps him very calm due to his blindness because he does get upset sometimes.
Okay.
And we just want his life to be perfect. As a matter of fact, we called the vet with him because he has a cancer on his neck, which you can see. And I said, what is his quality of life? Should we keep him alive? And she gave him a test. She had a 10-point test, and she said, he is a very happy horse, Ellen. Keep him alive. Yes, he's blind and he has cancer, and we're going to keep him alive. He has no pain. There you go. You can have a grape. See? And she wants it. Look at that little face.
My vet suggested
See
that.
him licking her?
Yeah. My vet suggested that they get their fall shots again because it's a disease that's going around.
There's a disease in equine encephalitis in New Jersey, so a booster is a good idea this year. You don't always have to have fall shots, but he's telling you the truth.
Wow, you just ran it right off. I just had to say, this is why I call Ellen all the time. A dream for me, just like you, as a little boy, I've always loved animals. And so when I grew up, I always, one of my dreams come true was to have a hobby farm. I wanted a hobby farm, and I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Patricia Ciaflone and her family up in Quakertown, because they helped me set up the barn and all that kind of thing. They taught me some tricks, some tips, You know, I keep my feed in tin cans so the rodents don't tear into the bags.
And your barn cats.
I have 5 barn
Gotta
cats.
have barn cats.
And the 6th cat, Felix, he barn hops. So he comes and he visits, he says hello, and then he splits. And then we see him daily when it's time to eat. That's how you know it's time to eat, because he sits and he waits. But we have barn cats. I have 3 dogs. I have alpacas and sheep, and many goats. But one of my really, I gotta be honest, one of my new loves and passions are my donkeys.
Yeah, oh, they're wonderful.
Donkeys
Yeah.
are so gentle and sweet. They can be a little noisy sometimes, but they recognize you. They're friendly all the time. When I rescued 2 donkeys that had babies when I got them, Augusta had Othello, and then Olivia had little Zach. And then we have Jenny that was relocated at my farm. She's from Medford Lakes. Her owner had, and this happens all the time, her owner had to move to a smaller space with 1 floor.
Right.
And she couldn't keep Jenny anymore, but they are so bonded. They love each other, and they love on you all the time. They get a little food possessive every now and again, a little attention. I think not food possessive, a little attention possessive. Just like my dogs, everybody wants to be pet the most. But horses really do zen people out. Ellen, tell us about people that visit your farm. You have people that come, you have groups and organizations.
Yes, we have a lot of groups that come. We have the Boys and Girls Club and the ARC of Atlantic County. Betty helped me. We had some soldiers come with PTSD, and we basically give them a really friendly horse, and they go off into the corner and just bond with the horse. We had a boy come who had brain cancer, and our horse Juno at the time had brain and eye cancer.
I remember Juno.
Yeah.
I remember Juno.
So they really bonded.
The Girl Scouts will be doing
Girl
a
Scouts are going to be
project.
doing a project to try to make Eridan's paddock more blind friendly. So it's Troop 144, shout out to them. They're going to put some special stones so he knows where the fence is, and they're going to hang some things to stimulate his other senses. They're going to hang things that smell different and things that make different noises so that his life isn't as boring being blind. I mean, he is pretty happy, but it could be better. So we want him to know where is his shelter. If it's pouring rain and Yuki's not around, maybe she's taking a nap. So what they're going to do is put pine bark around his shelter so he can feel it with his feet and he knows to go in there.
Hey.
So we've had Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops,
What about kids with special needs?
kids with special needs all the time, and we love groups. Any groups that come out that have special needs, just give us a call and set up an appointment. We absolutely love to have visitors. We also have the Stockton alumni. They come out twice or 3 times a year and do a lot of yard work
up,
and
dude?
raking and cleaning up and
What's up, dude?
landscaping, things like that. We
I was
love.
just at Stockton's Get Involved Fair.
Yep.
So we got 18 names. Of
Oh,
different
wow.
New volunteers
Yes.
to come out, and they can come out singularly or in groups.
We've also partnered with Cedar Creek High School in Egg Harbor City, and some of the kids that come out can actually raise their grade point level if they come out and volunteer a certain amount of hours. And it's the same with Stockton. You can actually get your grade point put up or extra credits if you come out and volunteer if you go to Stockton University.
Well, we're going to come back. We're going to visit Ellen's tack shop and all of her artistry. I'm having a good time. I don't know about you. Today's show is being brought to you by Always Best Care Senior Services. I want to remind my listening audience that you can check me out Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WURD 96.1 FM or 900 AM. Stay tuned. We're going to come back. We're going to check out the tack shop, and we're going to meet some more animals on the farm.
Come on, listen here. Did you know?
Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility.
Leadership. Purpose.
Great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity. Inclusion. Compasión.
We love our jobs.
If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our Compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302-409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you know?
All right, welcome back to the Did You Know Show. We're now in this paddock. We're going to talk about Jasper. Jasper is the descendant of Smarty Jones. Is that right?
He is the son of Smarty Jones, one of the many sons of Smarty Jones. Very famous racehorse. His racing name was Decisively. We call him Jasper. Now he was kind of one of our first rescues. He's been here a long time because he was overtrained at 18 months and he blew out his knee. And he also flipped at one point and broke a little bone in his back. So he is disabled. He's 14 years old now. 13? Is he 12? 13? 13. And so we just try to make him have as good a life as we can. We really need to get a sponsor so he can get the chiropractor. Sounds funny, but this little woman comes with a big box and she stands on it and she starts doing things to his back and he groans and grunts and he absolutely loves it. She did acupuncture on him. That helped a lot.
Wait a minute, the horse got acupuncture?
Yes, they did. Yep.
Wow.
Everything here they need, they get as long as we can do it. Jasper is a nice fella. He can have attitude when his back hurts. We do have to blanket him in the winter because of his back injury. The cold, if you want to go from underneath, it's better. Yeah, look, he's smelling you. Yeah, he's pulling your smell in.
What is this horse over here doing? She's
rolling in the dirt because she is itchy.
Can we get this horse that's rolling in the dirt?
Yeah. Yep.
That's not uncommon
Jasper?
for them once they get hosed down. What's up, dude?
Bryant, just don't touch his back on the spine area.
Okay.
He's very happy today, so he's not hurting. We try to keep an eye on his pain, and he does get pain medication or whatever he needs. If somebody would like to sponsor even 1 month of chiropractor, it's $100. And we use a wonderful chiropractor it's funny because she's so small, but she's up there on the biggest horses, and man, do they love her. Can you imagine carrying all that weight this way? I mean, your back must hurt all the time. So,
right. Don't try to drink my water.
Yeah. This is Scylla.
Hey,
Scylla is my horse, and she is a spotted draft.
Stop it.
She's about 10 years old, and we use her for therapy riding because nothing scares her, nothing spooks her. Someone had a wedding on her, and she had a 40-foot train. She's a really wonderful horse that anybody can ride, and yes, she's quite heavy.
She's a big horse.
She's a big girl. She's the big lady.
So she's the boss in this pen.
She's thick, right? She's a little thick, yeah. Say hi.
She came right for her close-up.
Yep.
You knew you were talking about.
And she's a draft horse. The draft breeds are Belgian, Clydesdale, Shire, Percheron. There's many. Our volunteer Betty has a kind of a rare draft horse called a Brabant. She's huge.
Okay.
And they're mostly used for farm work, but now people are realizing they're really fun to ride and they're safer to ride because they're very stoic and they usually don't care about traffic or noises or people firing guns or fire engines or anything like that.
And so you will see a lot of draft horses in the city, like in downtown in historic Philadelphia, pulling carriages and something like that. Places that are historic usually use draft horses because they are right. They assimilate to the traffic and the noises. So what are the 2 horses out here?
These are my other 2 horses that I own. They're part of the rescue now. Anybody, if we ever have time and all the chores are done, they're welcome to ride my horses because they're very kind and well trained. Fedar is a Shire horse. I bought him before I knew I was going to have a rescue.
Okay.
I bought him when he was 6 months old and had him shipped from North Dakota. And he is a full Shire horse, which is similar to a Clydesdale, but Clydesdales are from Scotland and Shires are from England.
Okay.
So he's a Shire horse. He's really big. He's quite safe and calm. He would never run away with you or anything like that. He's pretty lazy, and he's entirely motivated by food.
Okay.
His entire life revolves around food and when am I going to eat next. Hi, P. Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Hi.
So these horses are the horses that the staff will ride when the chores are done.
Yes.
He's looking for my food. You can't have my bottle. Look at it.
I wanted to start a horse under saddle myself, so I bought him when he was 6 months old, and I learned how to start a horse under saddle by using him, and he was very patient with me, and he's a nice fellow to ride.
Now, who's this horse over here?
And this is the love of my life. This is Talvi, and he is the reason I started the rescue. He's 26 now. I got him when he was 6 years old, and we showed in jumping and dressage, and
Talvi.
he is half Percheron, half thoroughbred. So he is a mixed breed horse, so he's half draft and half thoroughbred.
I'm gonna get in here and pet him.
Yeah, he's very, very friendly.
What's up, dude? You over here by yourself?
And I would love to ride him more, but due to illness and time, I don't get to ride him. And
he's a
always
beautiful
looking at me
horse.
Take me out on the trail, but because he loves trails, but he
how big is
doesn't
he?
get ridden. He's like 16.3, but he's a chunk, maybe 1,800 pounds.
Yeah.
He's still doing good at 26. I'm real happy about that. Found a good pile of grass there.
Wow. Now you were telling us about the racehorses. The racehorses and what goes on. Like you have a descendant of Smarty Jones, and you're not somebody that's against racing, but you have your opinions that racehorses should be probably raced at 5 years old as opposed to 2.
Yes, I was hoping, I've done a lot of work and calls and letters about changing the racing ages because their knees are not formed and their joints are not solid by the time they're 2. I think they race them too young. That's why there's so many deaths. But thanks to social networking, now it's coming out about the deaths on racetracks.
Right.
And I'm hoping that rules will change. I mean, I personally think horses love to race. This guy loves a good gallop. Like, he just is so happy when he's galloping over fences.
Right.
So I think they like it. I'm only guessing, but I wish the rules were a little bit stricter. The deaths that are happening are just horrible, especially when the horse is 2 or 3 or 4 years old. Also, a lot of racehorses, when they don't make the cut, they're not winning, they go to auction. They go to auction, they get in a truck, they ship to Canada or Mexico where they're slaughtered for meat. And these are American racehorses and American quarter horses, and this should not happen to them. Not only that, but one of the things is American horses are often given 2 drugs, one called bute and one called banamine, and these cause cancer in humans if humans eat that meat. So it's not safe for humans to eat, and it should the exporting to Mexico and Canada needs to stop. Everybody should look online for the SAFE Act and support the SAFE Act and urge your senators to support it, which is to stop the transport of horses out of the country for slaughter.
And what's that again? Do you know the bill? Is it a bill?
I can't remember. I'm sorry. I
All
think
right,
it's
so you could
166, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so you can make calls to stop the slaughter of horses and being shipped out of the country. You look up the bill. We think it's 166, but you had to do your research.
Yes. And hi. Yeah, he's rude. He's quite rude.
He wants to be in the shot.
He wants to be in the shot. That's Big Fee. You can see how big he is.
Now, how big is he? Like 18 hands?
He's 18 hands, yeah.
He's easily 18 hands.
He's 18 hands. His head's as big as you are, Bryant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get my water bottle.
Yeah. He likes a beer, so he probably thinks that you have a beer.
Oh, okay.
Horses like beer, and it's okay for them as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fine. It's wheat. It's fine. They like a good beer, especially when it's hot out.
Well, now I've been doing something. I just started doing something on my own. You can tell me if I'm doing something wrong. I just started, pouring a little apple cider on their feed.
That's really good. That's really good, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Apple cider vinegar is very good. You can also put it in your water troughs.
Okay.
A couple tablespoons. It helps to keep that algae from growing in your water troughs, and it's very good for the horses.
Okay.
Yep, that's good stuff.
See, I did something right. I did something right on my own.
And if I could talk about something else that's a little controversial.
Sure, go ahead.
The wild Mustangs. Well, the wild Mustangs are a part of our culture. The horse really founded this country. They pulled the wagons, they did the Pony Express, they fought in the Civil War, in the Revolutionary War. I mean, horses are a part of our culture. So what's happening now is and it's very controversial, is that the BLM is rounding up all the wild Mustangs and killing them. And they round them up with helicopters. It's very inhumane. They're mares with newborn babies and they die. Their legs break during these roundups. They're terrible. And it's basically so beef cattle can go out on the grasslands, because beef cattle and wild Mustangs don't mix. The problem is, first, for one thing, is cattle destroy grasslands. They pull up the grass, they eat the root. You end up with a desert. Horses clip the grass. So you'll know places where horses are, there's going to be grass everywhere because they just clip it. They're like a lawnmower. That's one thing. But the other thing is, wild Mustangs, they have a place in our country, in Nevada and New Mexico and Idaho and Utah, and this really needs to stop. So what I'm advising everyone to do, which they don't want to do, is boycott beef. You got to boycott beef. If you stop buying it and you say, look, I'm against the
Here's your voice.
The wild Mustangs being eradicated. It's the only way to stop them, or, contact your senator and say, I'm really interested in this. How can I help? How can I help with this?
Or factory farm.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Em.
Okay.
Go ahead, Em.
Yep.
All power to the
Yep.
people. All right,
Yeah.
so we're going to take one last break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to see the tack shop and some of your artists.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility.
Leadership. Purpose.
Great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity. Inclusion. Compasión.
We love our jobs.
If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302-409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Did you know?
Welcome back to the Did You Know Show. As we round down the show, we could not leave South Jersey Horse Rescue without seeing their tack shop. Ellen, tell us about the tack shop.
Well, we ended up getting a lot of donations from a lot of people that maybe didn't have horses anymore, or they got a different horse and the saddle didn't fit. And it ended up filling an entire building. We actually need a bigger building. So what we decided to do was open the Tacky Tack Shop, where there's used items and new items for very low prices. We also have a code word, and the code word is Matilda for our mule, who was our mascot for many, many years, and she died at the age of 45. She was very, very sweet. So if you say Matilda, I know that your kids maybe can't afford a new girth or a new saddle, then they can come in and just pick out what they like. We love to help people, low-income people maybe, or if they have 4-H kids that are outgrowing their clothes and their show jackets, you can come in and pick out what you want, or you can pay a very low price or give a donation to the rescue. We have everything from girths to saddles to helmets to show jackets, show pants. Some are very, very high-end from England and France and Germany. Boots, we have high boots and low boots, and
You got britches back there?
we got breeches, every kind of bit and bridle. It's kind of a mess right now, but we're working on trying to get it organized, and we actually could use some help in the Tacky Tack Shop if anybody would like to volunteer to come in and help put it in better order.
If you want to volunteer, you certainly can look at the bottom of our screen. You'll see South Jersey Horse Rescue. They have the email there. You can reach them on social media. You know, once I can say as somebody that can definitely endorse South Jersey Horse Rescue, once you connect with South Jersey Horse Rescue, typically you are kind of connected and linked to other rescues.
Yes.
And, you know, there's a nice horse and donkey and mule community. And that's one thing we didn't do. We didn't go over there and visit your mule. You got a giant mule over there and donkeys. I guess that'll be for the part 2 episode.
Part 2, yes.
Part 2, but, you know, right now we have our cameraman in there, and he's fooling around with the different blankets and saddles and tacks and everything. And you've been, you know, just great sending us stuff, because we were new. I still consider myself a very novice farmer, and I've had some people that have taught me along the way different things. But again, I like the way you move. You know, if you're somebody out there that is looking for something that's reasonably priced, that's, you know, gently used, or, you know, somewhat new, or if you're interested also in donating, they do accept donations. Again, all you have to do is look at the bottom of the screen. You can call, or you can email, or you can Facebook. This group of people, our South Jersey Horse Rescue, I can't say enough nice things about them. One thing, they're very knowledgeable, and they don't make you feel stupid when you ask a stupid question. You know, typically when I got into horses, people told me, horse people are crazy. Well, I think everybody's got a little crazy to them. I mean, you know, to kind of start a rescue in a 501c3, you got to be a little bit kind of touched, because it is a very, very, very sometimes egregious labor of love.
And it can be heartbreaking, and it's 24/7. I get calls at 4 in the morning and 1 in the morning, and people
Desperate
pulling in
calls.
the driveway, desperate calls. And we've seen tragedies, but we've also seen miracles.
You turn a lot of lemons into lemonade.
We've had some horses come in that had less than a week to live because of starvation, and the vet will vouch for that, and we've brought them back, and they're healthy today. So we've seen miracles, and we've had some sad cases. We have also taken horses out of kill pens or auctions which we knew were terminal. And we've only done it 4 times. It's very hard on us. It's hard on our souls. We cry. But what we do is we adopt them. We bring them here and we give them wonderful care for as long as we can, and then we gently have them euthanized. And we just did that with Jack and with Penelope and Zeus. We had Zeus, a huge Percheron. He had to be close to 19 hands, and he was just at the end of his life, and we were not going to let him go to meet. I mean, it's a horrible journey. They're jammed into big trucks, and it's a 4 or 5 day journey to Canada and even longer to Mexico, and they're jammed in so they can't even move, and there's no water and no food, and they're in with stallions and babies and whatever. And we try to do that. When we have the money, we try to pull a terminal horse and just give it love for a month and then let them go.
Kind of like your hospice for horses.
Like hospice for horses, yes.
Hospice for horses.
Yeah.
Well, with the little bit of time that we have left in the show, since we didn't get a chance to visit, and we were talking off screen, thanks to Em, she asked the question, we were talking about the difference between donkeys and mules. Can you give us a quick, you said a female donkey is a Jenny?
It's a Jenny, and a male donkey is a Jack, and a female mule is a Hinny, And a male mule, I can't remember the name for. It's just gone. But a mule is the offspring of a horse and a donkey. And people interbred them because it makes a very sensible, very brave animal. A mule and a donkey will protect your flocks. They will protect your other horses. If some, wolves came into Sewell,
Right.
which we would hope not,
Right.
your donkeys would protect your horses. And they're very protective, and they can actually be almost a predatory animal rather than a prey animal, which is what they are. Mules are very protective, and a lot of people hunt off the back of mules because mules can't be scared. Balloons can go by in a fire truck, and you can shoot a gun off their back, and they're just very big and brave and in your face. So it's very different than a horse.
Matilda
Yes.
was a guard horse for
Yes,
sheep.
she was our Matilda, who has since passed, was a guard horse for sheep, and she had a sheep herd forever. And we got her when she was way over 30, and she lived here for a long time. And she was quite feral, afraid of humans, but she was really, really wonderful, and we miss her terribly. Yeah.
Wow. Again, as we wind down, I want to remind everybody that I'm on the air on Saturdays at 4 p.m. You can check me out on WURD 96.1 FM or 900 AM. It's the Did You Know Show. We're here today brought to you by Always Best Care Senior Services. We are a home care, home health agency, an agency that never sleeps. You can call us at 267-909-9248 or visit teamgreenabc.com. Today's show was at the South Jersey Horse Rescue. Thank you so much, Ellen Strack and and
Betty.
Betty. I drew a blank too. Betty and because Betty hooked me up with the cat. Betty and Pam Jackson hooked me up with the cats, my barn cats.
Yes.
By the way, I love animals. I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I do. We are definitely going to have to do a part 2 to include the donkeys and the mules. How did we miss those?
Yes, and the artwork.
And the artwork,
Yeah.
right. We had to come back and talk about the artwork. We missed that too, but that's okay. That gives us a reason to come back and visit. Thank you again. This is Brian Green signing out. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, Ellen and
Thank
team.
you. Bye-bye.
You guys are wonderful. Peace and so much light.
Did you know always a right-hand man? Did you know he's gonna make it clear? Did you know? Come on, listen here. Did you know?
Always Best Care is a great place to work.
Flexibility.
Leadership. Purpose.
Great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity. Inclusion. Compasión.
We love our jobs.
If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our compassionate Team Green. You can apply online or call 302-409-3710.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
The name Always Best Care has become the most trusted and reliable for in-home senior services. Our caregivers specialize in bringing families and friends closer together and putting smiles in the faces of each and every one of our clients by creating a fun and loving atmosphere. For an in-home healthcare provider that is built on genuine compassion and quality care, look no further than Always Best Care. Hi, I'm Patty Jackson. When I needed help with providing my mother physical and emotional comfort in her time of need, Always Best Care was a godsend. And you can rest assured that they will always be there whenever you call because they care.
They're tried and true. You can trust that they will always take good care of you. Always Best Care.
To schedule an appointment, visit abcphillybristol.com or call 267-909-9248 today.